Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Book Talks with Miss Thomas, and I am Miss Thomas. I upload videos every Sunday and Wednesday, and if you are new here, please subscribe. If you are not new, welcome back. Okay, so there's the infomercial. I am in grad school, as you know, some of you may know from other videos, and I am taking a course on reading, and most of my graduate courses are on reading. And I have been asked to film a video or write a couple paragraphs about my reading autobiography. And so I'm filming it, and I thought, why not put it on YouTube as well for you guys? And why not make it a tag? So I'm really excited. This is my first tag, and definitely the first person I thought of to tag would be my first friend from the booktuber community, and that is Kieran from Noob Readers. So hi, Kieran. Kieran was just a really welcoming and warming booktuber. Warm booktuber when I started, and I've looked at her channel for inspiration, and I hope she's gotten some inspiration from my channel, and I definitely enjoy her videos, and I usually agree with her views on books. Although I am reading Slow Fire Burning by Paula Hawkins, and I'm kind of liking it. So that's the first disagree I may have there. But I hope that Kieran from Noob Readers, I believe out in India, which is also cool because I'm Baltimore, Maryland area in the United States. I hope that she will join the fun and do this tag as well. And the second person I want to tag is somebody that I haven't, met. I've just recently started watching his videos because he put a really nice comment on one of my videos. But from what I've seen, I liked him, and especially since he's a teacher and a football coach, and I'm actually at football practice right now. So for my son, not me. And so his name is Bill Ruttenberg. And, if you haven't seen his channel, I think you should check it out and you will like it because I do. Or maybe you won't like it because I do. I don't know, but I recommend Bill Ruttenberg as well, and I wanted to give him a shout out and tag him. So if you want to hang on, you will hear my reading autobiography for grad school. And it's good, I think, to reflect on how you became the reader that you are and why you value reading. I think those are some important questions. So I hope you will listen to my perspective and then check out Kieran and Bill's. Hi. So I am at my son's football practice. I apologize if you hear the cheerleaders or the game or the traffic, but this was the only window I could carve out for myself to film my reading autobiography. So I'm going to go ahead and answer my reading biography questions. The first question is favorite books. And for me, I would say it's a type of book. I need character development. I need to really, and I've especially learned this about myself lately. It's become kind of a trend that, they have these unlikable characters or these ugly characters, if you will, like Girl on the Train. She was such a lush. Like, I didn't like her, so therefore I didn't really like the book. So I need to like the character. The book has to have really good character development, and I need to identify with the character. But I will say some of my favorite books are my favorite authors, and usually if the author is good and I like the author, then I'm probably going to like the book. So my first and foremost is Harlan Coben. Love Harlan Coben. I have been kind of disappointed in his latest books, but I've been a fan for years. So I like the Myron Voltaire series, and I like the books that are not part of those series too, like sort of the standalones. I like The Stranger and Fool Me Once is my favorite book. My second favorite book or maybe first. It's either Fool Me Once or The Five People You Meet in Heaven. Those are my two favorite books. It would definitely be a toss-up between those two. Okay. Sorry, something in my teeth. My favorite reading memory would be anytime I'm like next to the pool or at the beach. My favorite reading memory, just the relaxation of it, you know, the sound of the water, the sound of children having fun, and just relaxing with the book and not having to worry about, you know, teaching or lesson plans or grading, because it's usually summer and I'm so relaxed. I do have one funny beach memory about a book, and that is one summer we were, I think it was Ocean City. I know we were on the ocean, and I was reading the other West Moore, and I remember that painfully because it was a library book, and I was reading it, and I was sitting a little too close to the ocean, and my husband was wading in the ocean, and it was hitting his ankles and his knees, and he turned around and he said, "You're too close to the water. A wave's going to come by and grab that book." And I said, "Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm having a good time. Leave me alone," you know. And then all of a sudden, whoosh, you know, and this big wave comes, and it took my book, The Other West Moore, out into the ocean. And the reason I remember that, of course, is because I had to replace it. And it was worth every penny. That's a good book, The Other West Moore, by, you guessed it, Wes Moore. Okay, let's see. Best reading memory. Okay, this is kind of way back. It dates me. But when I was a teenager, I was reading a book, and it was a really engaging romance. And I remember that I was sitting on the couch next to the phone, and I was reading this book, and I was really getting into it, and the phone rang, and I picked it up, and I was still reading, and I was like, "Oh yes, I do." And my friend was like, what are you talking about? You know, I just wanted to call you because whatever reason. And I remember because my friend, of course, teased me about it for a long time, but I was so engaged in the book that I couldn't separate the fact that I was in a reality and my phone was ringing and there was this really good book. So that's definitely something I remember happily. How did you learn to read? This is one that I love to share with my students in particular, because I had severe dyslexia. I mean, I had really serious dyslexia in elementary school, and my parents fought to get me support, and I did eventually get an IEP in the public school system, but my parents were so disgusted that eventually they pulled me out and put me in private school, and they bought all of my books, and I remember being able to write in my books. And that was a big thing for me, the importance of being able to, now we say annotation, you know, but as a little 12-year-old, I remember getting my books in school and writing all over them, and that's how I learned. I also remember, let's see, how did you learn to read? I had really good special educators. That's probably why I am a special educator. I remember especially having three-dimensional letters. I remember like making letters out of aluminum foil and making a lot of three-dimensional things, because there was like a connection for me between touch and reading comprehension. And I was really young when I was doing that, so I remember that. And I remember tracing paper. I carried tracing paper around with me everywhere I went, and I just was always tracing everything, again because of the dyslexia. And I was really determined to learn how to read. It was something that to me, wow, everybody else can do this really cool thing and I can't. And so I was really working very hard toward learning how to read. So I do have some specific vivid memories of the three-dimensional letters and the tracing paper in particular. Oh, and I would practice. I would read out loud all the time. I would, just whenever I had something to do for homework or just even for fun, I would read it out loud to myself all the time. You know, I'm currently in a park. There's strangers all around me, and I'm like over it. I'm not worried about how I may sound or how I may look. I am just interested in learning, and as long as I learn, I don't really care how that looks to other people. Okay, The most influential reading teacher that I would say I had is, bar none, hands down, my mom. And my mom died I think 2 years ago. It might have been three. It was before COVID, before the pandemic. And I remember she fought really, really hard to get me an education, and because I was very articulate, and to this day, I remember what people say and I spit it back. And I always got good grades, and I was not really a behavior problem, and my mom kept saying, yes, but she can't read, and so she really pushed me to read. And I remember her reading to me all the time. I remember the joy of that time with my mom being read to. And I remember when I was sick one time, I had strep throat, and she came home with popsicles and golden books. I don't know if you remember those golden books with the golden spines, but that was something that I have especially remember very happily from learning to read. So that is my reading biography. And thank you for listening.